Hello, I'm Jennifer. So, today I'd like to talk about your childhood. And thank you for taking this interview for your life story. What was it like? Um, what year were you born?
1986,
What date?
October 20th,
And what day of the week?
Monday.
Monday? Did your parents tell you that constantly?
Yes.
Can you elaborate and tell me more? What would he tell you?
Well, my dad was born on October 22nd. So basically, he kept saying that it was the best birthday present ever because he got to take me home from the hospital on a Wednesday.
Aw, I bet that was. I bet he wished you were born on his birthday.
He said that, yes. He said he wanted me to be born on his birthday, but he's like, it was still the best birthday present because I got to come home from the hospital on the 22nd.
That is a good birthday present. Where were you born?
Geneva, New York.
Was it real cold up there?
Yes.
That's pretty typical for New York, huh?
Yep.
Any significance to your name? To your first and middle?
Yes. My first name, Michael, is from my dad because my dad is also named Michael. And then my middle name is Francis, and that's from my grandfather on my mother's side who passed away when she was only like 12.
Oh, I'm sorry. Um, so your middle name was Francis.
Yes.
I like that. It's very unique. So what was your bedroom like when you were growing up as a kid?
It was small and very unique because I had to share it a lot of time in the wintertime, which is most of the time up there,
Mhm.
with the rats because they came in from
Oh,
outside.
no.
So you'd always hear them in the wall. I'm always just hitting the wall, telling them to be quiet, and trying to sleep.
Did they listen?
Not really. Usually the bang got them to stop for a little bit, but not much.
Jeez. Well, describe the neighborhood that you grew up in.
It's not really a neighborhood. I lived truly out in the country. The closest neighbor I had was 300 yards away, and that was my grandmother. And then the next neighbor, one of my one of my good friends,
Mhm.
he lived about a mile down the road.
That's good. So y'all were within walking distance. So back then, did you walk?
Yes.
Awesome. Did y'all get into any trouble?
Yes.
Quite a few times, huh?
Yep.
Well, we won't go there today unless you want to.
No, we're good.
Um, did you live with your parents?
Yes.
Tell me about them.
They were, from what I remember, they were really good parents. Like back then, they just weren't around too much because they always had long working jobs.
Mhm.
So like I was with my grandmother throughout the day
Okay.
most of the time. Then at nighttime I was with my parents.
Yeah. How was it like being with your grandma all the time?
That was good, fun.
Good. Did you ever get in trouble with her? Or
No.
pretty easygoing?
Oh yes.
That's how grandparents should be.
Yeah.
Not have the parenting role. But you listened to her pretty good.
Yes.
That's good. What was your mom and dad like with, let's say, who was more strict, your mom or your dad?
My dad.
Your dad? Okay. Any memories of your childhood that you knew you weren't supposed to be doing something and got busted by your dad? Like driving your mom crazy, like I typically did as a child.
Yeah, it was more my mom that I got busted by, but yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So tell me about one of the memories.
I was probably 8 or 9 at the time,
Mm-hmm.
and my mom was making barbecue sauce, and I
Sounds
wanted to, I think, watch something on TV. So she had the big stock pot, like the 16 quart, the giant stock pot going to the barbecue sauce.
Uh-huh.
And I kept just bothering her, like just kept going and grabbing her leg and stuff, like, hey, I want to do this, I want to do this. And she's like, no, no. And then she was moving it from the stove over to the counter, and finally she's like, "Fine!" And as she did that, the pot fell out of her hand, fell down, hit the floor, and it just exploded like a volcano. So it went everywhere in the kitchen and up on the ceiling. Luckily, before we both just were like, "Oh crap, this has happened."
Oh no.
I was able to run outside, and the car was unlocked. So I was able to get in the car, and I locked the door. And basically, to this day, she still tells that story. "You little shit. You got out there and locked that door. Like, I would have beat you so much."
Yeah? How long did you stay out there?
Quite a few hours. I think I finally got out of the car and then went out in the woods and stayed out there for a little while longer.
Yeah.
And then eventually when I came home, my dad was there and, oh, yeah, I got it then.
It was game over, huh?
Yes.
Would you call your dad authoritative? When it comes to parenting, authoritative would be like the positive role model. Disciplined, but loving. Enforced rules. But authoritarian would be like, someone that would be, "You're gonna do this," very strict, not loving, not caring, but,
I would say authoritative.
Yeah. That's good. Alright, let's see. So, how was your parents' marriage? Like, would you say it was, like, really good most of the time?
Yes, it was really good. Like, they love each other and they're just happy to be with each other all the time.
That's awesome. So, what do you think it takes to have a good marriage?
Basically finding somebody that you can be happy with and finds some similarities with each other, and then finding your equal in life who you can spend the rest of your life just being equals, going through life together with.
Awesome. That's a great. I would totally agree with that. I know in human development it teaches about, dating today, marriage today, and it's not the same as it was when we were younger and our parents, it was a whole lot harder, and the values today is a whole lot different, like hookups and all kind of other stuff out there, and people just not serious at all, just wanting to find short-term love and stuff that long-lasting. Would you agree with that?
Yes, definitely a lot different today, and it's like it's better and it's worse.
Yeah.
Nowadays. Now it's like it's better because it's easier, but it's worse just because you have to actually go through, and it's like, oh, okay, if you're looking to date, are you looking for a hookup, like friends with benefits, or are you actually looking for a real relationship?
Yeah.
That's one of the first questions you have to ask somebody, like within that first couple hours of talking to them.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're just wasting your time.
Exactly. So, let's skip it on to, like, holidays, like Thanksgiving and Christmas. How was it in your household?
They were good. Like, we had some big family gatherings, and then other times it was just small, just like my little family. We were together.
That's good. It's good. Did you have any traditions or just?
Like later in life, yes, we had some traditions of like every Christmas Eve we would go out to church, and then after that go over to one of my aunt's houses, and then like 80 to 100 relatives were there, and
Okay.
just had a big party.
That's awesome. Let's see. I'm sorry. When did you first learn how to drive?
When I was 16,
Who taught you?
my dad.
Was he very easy? Was he easy on you? Tough on you?
I guess kind of easy.
Yeah. He didn't freak out if you.
Oh no, that would be my mom. Basically, she freaks out like whenever she's in the car. So my dad didn't. Like he was fine.
Yeah. That's awesome. Well, what was your first car like?
My first car was a Ford Escort. Basically, I didn't get to pick it out. I just came home from school one day and it was blocking the driveway. And I know we were always having issues with people blocking the driveway in the street, because this is like when we lived in a town. Then after we moved, because people went to the Y all the time. So I came in the house and I'm like, "There's a car blocking the driveway." They're like, "Oh, yeah, we know." And they're like, "It's your car." I'm like, "What?" And they gave me the keys to it.
That's a nice surprise. And did they buy it for you, or did they, like, was it paid for?
No, it wasn't paid for. They went and they bought it for me, but then they made me make the payments after that.
Do you think that made you a better person today,
Yes.
having responsibilities?
Yeah. It's like nothing's given to you in life.
Nope, you're right. I mean, nothing. And that's good life lesson right there. What were your dreams and goals?
My dream was basically probably just grow up and, like, I always wanted to join the Navy, to be on an aircraft carrier, because that was my cousin and I just saw like aircraft carriers and I'm like, that looks really cool. That thing is so big. How does that ship float?
Did you ever make it to the Navy?
Yes.
Awesome. Thank you for your service.
Thank you.
You're welcome. How was it like? Was it hard at first?
Yes, the Navy was hard at first, totally something you need to get used to, and then just something you aren't used to compared to, like, being at home or being close to family and stuff, being away from them all the time.
I bet the holidays were really tough.
Yes.
Yeah. So when it comes to nature versus nurture, when I mean nature versus nurture, the nature, how the environment you grew up in, and versus nurture, how loving your parents, your grandparents were. Do you think that had a lot to do with the way you turned out in life?
Yes, I think so.
That's awesome. Well, thank you for your interview with me, and I really appreciate it, and I hope you have a great day, and
Thanks.
you're welcome.